Hello and welcome to QuestJunkiesUK. It's a pleasure to be here with you today, and we are brought to you by the kind support of CZRPG, Phoenix Dice, Trollord Games, and Nathrax 3D Minis. Look out for your chance to win in our fabulous giveaways. Check the session for today's giveaway. And, of course, you can get yourselves a lovely discount over on their homepages using the coupon codes that will pop up in chat. Do not miss this amazing stuff. CZRPG with their beautiful encounter design, maps, a fantastic Patreon for you to join. Phoenix Dice, their incredible, sustainably produced, recycled packaging and everything. They're wonderful Click-Clap Math Rocks. Do check them out. Trollord Games with their incredible Castles and Crusades original system and lots of D&D content as well. And the beautiful 3D printed and beautifully painted, if you wish, minis of Nathrax 3D minis. Absolutely wonderful stuff. Please check them out and let them know that the Odyssey sent you. Now, let us also say a huge thank you to the wonderful people over at Sirenscape. Amazing music and sound effects for your games, and just makes the whole experience a completely different level. Check them out, stuff for D&D, Pathfinder, Call of Cthulhu, other game systems, board games, science fiction, fantasy, everything you need. Link in chat for your chance to get a free trial of this amazing product. Now, let's get into the session. To adventure! Hello, wherever and whenever you are, and welcome back to QuestJunkiesUK, and welcome back, Buns. Perfect. Enter stage right. Actually, I forget, stage, is it, when you say stage right, left, right, is that as you look at it, or as the actors look
I don't know.
out?
It's always like exit stage left, so I'm going to assume you enter stage right.
Right, I assume it's like as the
You
actors
tell
are
us we're
looking
wrong
out.
in the chat.
Please do, yes. Right, anyway, yes, we
Oh,
are
you theater
here.
nerds. Correct us.
Returning
Please.
to this fabulous group, back to full strength as we return to Out of the Abyss. A big shout out to all those lovely people in the pre-rail, and a special one to CZRPG for sponsoring our giveaway this week. It is a special one this week. It is a bundle, a big chunky bundle of Halloween goodies. 10 DM's Guild bestsellers from CZRPG to give away to one lucky person. ! Enter in the chat like our friend Roveljax over there. And do not give up hope. Yes, the algorithm loves Roveljax, but there is still a chance for everyone else. And you can have your chance to win at the end of the session in a couple of hours. Hope that you are able to enjoy those goodies as our friend Cuz Daisy is from that first giveaway for the Hunger of Ithrin. Welcome in, everybody. Good to have you here, my lovely players. And over there in the chat, we see Robojax and Phantom and JR. Good to see you, everyone. And Ziggy, I saw up there before. Good to see you, everybody. Hope everyone had a good weekend and the start of the week and enjoying the D&D saturated latter half of the week, as things like to go around here. We started off things nice and smooth with Hunger of Ithrin, and then just hit the ground running about Wednesday night and just keep going until Saturday. Yes, indeed. Okay, Robojax just came out from Lord Gasumba's stream. Nice, good to see. Alright, Raid Interstellar Loon, nice. Okay, so, welcome everybody. I hope you're ready for some more interesting storytelling. You've caught us at an interesting... My camera's a bit off. Hang on. Let's fix that. You can see my ridiculous hair. Okay. I'm halfway to a Matt Colville lion's mane. But not quite there yet. And I will never be, because it's getting cut tomorrow. Goodbye, silly hair. That long rest.
I mean...
You get to see 2 more streams of it. I will have this hair in Barovia. I shall have this hair in the Feywild. But I shall not have it in Candlekeep.
If you put it down, how far does it go? Does it get close to the eyes?
It's like, yeah, it's getting there. It's like getting halfway down.
Almost.
I've seen those pictures
Almost.
of young John. I remember the bangs.
Yeah. the centre parting.
It just descends.
Ah dear. The last time I was playing TTRPGs before this. By the way, speaking of playing TTRPGs and starting D&D and the such, please join us for Hunger of Ithrin next week, as it is my 4th anniversary of DMing. I started DMing 2018, Halloween on the day, a one-shot that is still going. We had our session yesterday. Hey, Rishi, how you doing, mate? And we had our session last night. They are doing monumentous things over in Eberron. It is going good. And they just found out that what they thought was one big bad guy is 3. So that'll be fun. Anyway, so that is not where we are now. We are here in the northern parts of Faerun, here, the spine of the world mountains there, and huddling at their feet, the Lurkwood, saved from the Fey menace that was the Briar King, and given back to the equally menacing Fey, the Sister of Spiders. But it'll be fine. As you finished up your business there, and having saved the Lurkwood from its encroaching, what's the word I'm looking for? Corruption, you travelled over towards the west of the wood, towards Zumhana, the Wood Elf court, and the home of your companion, Prince Derendil, an elven prince, unfortunately transformed by an evil wizard into the vile and violent body of a Quaggoth. Not vile, they're kind of fuzzy and nice, but pretty violent and nasty. And as you arrived there, you were greeted by the scouts on the outskirts and transported through to the fabulous court and the main council chambers, which is not ruled by a queen, but by a high councillor, Councillor Aradel, Prince Derendil's mother. And let me show Corbin, who missed last time. Here it is, and let's pop it up on the screen for everybody. It's Birdie. You can also look behind Mike there. It's the same picture.
Mm-hmm.
As I said to you before you went offline there, Mike, well found. And as you arrived in Zumhana and approached the council dais, all of the various councillors arrayed around Head Chancellor Aradel and looking at their various goings-on and plans that they were doing there, Prince Derendil steeled himself to approach his mother and introduce himself and see what the reaction would be to his unfortunate circumstances. And just as he took a faltering step forward, a different group of wood elves, a hunting party, returned from within the forest, led by a boisterous, bravado-filled young wood elf, who also stepped boldly towards the dais, and also called out to High Councillor Aradel, "Mother, I have returned." And the High Councillor looked, "Ah, Derendil, welcome back. I'm glad to see you safe." Our friend, the Quaggoth, Prince Derendil, rushed awkwardly from the room, Zakan following after, as Elora used her courtly graces and royal wiles to ingratiate herself to this so-called elven Prince Derendil, and very cleverly tried to figure out if he was the real deal, whilst Zakan just used that old divination in the very divine sense of the divination side of things. Divination with a capital divine. As they tried to find out what was going on there. Oh, Stephen, developments during this week. We had our session 0 for the upcoming QuestJunkiesUK campaign, and we went from level 5 to it being a higher stakes game at level 12. So we all had an extra 7 levels to fill. I was like, do I go level 7? Extra 7 levels in Ranger, like I am at the moment. And my good friends over there, Laura and Kayla, will be fellow players in that game. I cannot wait to be playing together there. But I was chatting with Patch, our good friend over at QuestJunkiesUK there, after our session 0, and we decided to go the good old-fashioned one-shot roulette way, and I rolled randomly for my other 7 levels.
Oh, nice.
So
They're just all over the place.
no, I kept it in one class. I was like, what class is it going to be? and
I see.
I turned off multiclassing. So I am a level. I switched it up as well because I wanted the main to be the ranger. So I'm a level 7 ranger, and then the previous 5 levels I had kicking around, I am a level 5 warlock.
Oh, that was a fun combo.
Ooh.
It was a random one, Alora. So yes, we do have a connection there. But my patron is not Archfey. My patron is from the Shadow Realm, which is connected with the Fey courts, but my patron is the what was it called?
Maximilian Pegasus.
It's the no, the new one that's in the Book of Ebb and Tides that we read, which we have decided to make Tidra. So your patron is now mine. All your patrons belong to us. So Zakhan has lost Tidra.
It's funny. I could have swore I heard you say Shadow Realm there.
Yes, indeed. When our timeline is being a little messed around with here, so as soon as the Barovia and Beyond crew are successful in releasing Barovia from the Domains of Dread, then she will be free to skulk off to the Shadow Realm and become this warlock patron. the Mother of Sorrows, I think it is, or the Weeping Mother, or something like that. So yes.
Gotta have a meetup at some point.
Range
Definitely
lock.
gotta have a meetup.
Range lock.
Range
or just
lock.
The Rock.
The Rock.
Now
Oh,
I'm
by the
gonna
way,
have
John.
multi-classing.
Yeah.
It is.
Sorry.
You're saying Zagan, yeah?
Oh, the acorn pie detail, was that from Rings of Power?
No. Was that in there?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
I
it
missed
comes up in Rings of Power. I
okay.
mean,
Is that the half-foots or whatever they're called?
yeah, it comes up one of the Harfoot scenes.
Okay.
But it came up and I was like, where have I heard acorn pie this week? But
I think I must have. Maybe it was there subconsciously because I have watched all of that. Okay. Buns is attacked by all the fur babies. All of the babies. Yeah. Tabaxi attack. Okay. Also, actually, speaking to Stephen there, I had a very interesting time yesterday as I recorded a session of Just a Minotaur, the fabulous quiz show over with our friends at the Fourth Culture.
yeah.
And if anyone's familiar with the old BBC radio show Just a Minute, you have to speak for 1 minute on a given topic without hesitation, repetition, or deviation, and the 3 other players tried to challenge you and interrupt and take the time for themselves. And it was hilarious fun. There was myself and Caustic Phoenix and Robert Hartley GM and Liars for Hire, who is an incredible source of inspiration over on Instagram that you should definitely check out, everybody. And in a couple of the topics, I got to talk about Dragon Heist, so I was talking about that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was really fun. Everyone, keep
Very
your eyes open
exciting. I'll have
on
to watch that.
Yeah, look out in the Discord if you want to jump in on that, my friends. It is hilarious, and the episodes they already have up on their YouTube channel are awesome, and ours will be up in about 2 weeks, apparently. So yeah, keep your eyes open for that. I'll post it in the Discord when it is released. Right, okay, sorry, stop waffling on, John. Now, so yes.
10 minutes are up.
Alora did seem to... it did seem legit, this connection between Councillor Eredel and the Prince Derendil that you had been surprised by. And that was then that we switched outside to Zakhan, approaching Derendil as he stood fitfully looking out from the balcony of the front of the palace, as we can see in the picture there, as the waterfall dashed on the rocks below, and the gushing stream rushed through the woodland court. He started to lose himself to the Quaggoth side of things. As you had seen in combat down in Underdark, he started to get angry, furious that this had happened after all this build-up, this sudden pulling of the rug from under him. But Zakhan... Oh, Phantom, thank you for that link. Zakhan very quickly and cleverly used calm emotions to prevent a diplomatic incident. And the elven guards wanted to escort your Quaggoth friend to a waiting location. Not a cell or anything like that, but the threat of violence was momentarily there, and they wanted to just figure out what was going on, because they heard everything he said to you about being the prince and what's going on. So, and he calmly agreed, kind of sullenly going off with them. And then Zakan heard the voice of the Sister of Spiders, delighted that she'd been allowed to witness this disappointment that she knew was coming. She had sensed Darendel's true nature as you travelled through her neck of the woods. Also, I'm very, very disappointed I didn't use neck of the woods in all of our talk of vampires and stuff up there, but hey. Missed opportunity.
Shame.
Missed opportunity. Also, sorry, Sam, when you sit still and you're just there, you look exactly like that AI art of your character for Quest Junkies. It was spooky how close that came out to your
Uncanny.
actual picture.
The green hair, you know.
Yeah, that's a slight change. But yeah, that's awesome. Anyway, you heard from the disembodied voice of the Sister of Spiders that the Demon Lord, Fraz Blue, had tricked the poor Quaggoth into thinking and having the memories of Prince Darendel. But he is, in actual fact, just a Quaggoth from the Underdark. That is where we left things, much to Mike's chagrin. He's like, no! And that is where we're going to rejoin these four lovely people. So let us meet them. Elora, who are you in the real world? Who are you playing? Where are they at right now?
Hi, I'm Sam. I play Elora Lustrous. She is a high elf assassin rogue from Myth Tranner. And right now she's feeling pretty disgusted, getting nauseous, all these cordial exchange of greetings and stories, and she's like, I got my insight, I got my information, I just want to get out of here right now.
Noted. Caleb, your good self. Are you inside or out?
Well, if we're talking about context to the game, and if we're talking about context to the real world, we'll figure that out. Hi, friends. I'm Mike. You know me as Grim in chat. Tonight, I will be reprising the role with these lovely folks as Kalo, our half-drow paladin of Isla Strayi, rescued by Zakan many years ago down in the Underdark, where he will be reprising his role of extra number 4 for the off-Broadway play A Tale of Two Darendels.
Thank you. Much acclaimed. Okay.
So I've heard.
And welcome back to Buns. After hearing that rundown there, where is Corbin at? You may go into a little more detail than usual, because you are missing for that revelation.
Yeah. I wasn't there when so I wouldn't know anything about the wood elf Darendel? No.
No, you've seen what they've seen. You were in the courts with them. So you've just seen him arrive, and yeah, everyone's been just blindsided by it.
I'm confused and doing one of these. But if you're Darren Duncan, then who are you? No, that's rude. You did it enough. Okay, so you're the Oh. I'm pretty sure that at this point they are slowly going over to where their fuzzy Darendel is, and just like.
Well, he's actually he stormed outside, and that's the last you saw of him. And if you if you go out to follow after him, you see that Zakan is now there alone. So we shall look through your arrival and talking with Zakan in just a moment. Okay, and last but not least, said Zakan.
Hello. I am Steven, and I am playing our Aasimar ranger slash cleric, Zakan, who for over 100 years spent their time in the Underdark with the divine mission to find those who were lost, bring them to where they needed to go, which earned them a bit of a reputation, for good or ill. And but the Abyss is spiraling out of control, and their body is failing, and
As it is
they
once
need
true.
help.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. I got that right? It is a V, right? Not a PH.
For me, yes.
Yes. Huzzah. Okay.
Proper one.
No, please. Move the
Okay.
ISR on.
Is that,
Yeah, look directly into it.
is that
She's
the
like, yeah, I almost made direct eye contact. I'm gonna go shoo the pets. I have to let the dog in, but I will be right back.
No
I'm
problem.
so sorry.
It's okay. We're starting with Alora, so that's no problem. Okay.
Finnegan is currently exiled in the other room.
That was a little quiet.
Yeah.
Okay. Alora. We return to you on the dais as Prince Darendel introduces you formally to Head Chancellor Aradel, his beloved mother. And let's change the music up because it's not so dark in here. Your Highness, Elora, you really must meet my mother. Buns, you really must meet your back screen. Up close and personal. Tore it off the ceiling. Bear with this, folks. Technical difficulties.
Oh man, that
Corbin gets
flag
wrapped
is
up in like
incredible.
in a courtroom drape. Yeah, it is.
That time that we fought the carpets.
Yes, yeah, the curtain. Yeah, the curtains. Yeah. It's the curtain.
Yeah, this was
Buds.
Zakan's view.
But art imitates life. Okay, Elora. So yes, Prince Darendil says, and yeah, with your graceful hand in the crook of his elbow leads you towards the beautifully robed in earthen, foresty tones, browns and greens, but the lines and the cuts do belie their station. As they look down, and Prince Darendil says, Mother, honoured Chancellors, allow me to introduce Her Highness, Elora of Mithrano. And there are some barely concealed looks of surprise and like mutterings between some of the ones further down the table to either end as you're in the center. And the Chancellor, Head Chancellor Aradel, just kind of scowls in both directions and silences them. And she bows gracefully and deeply. It is wonderful, heartwarming news to see that some, at least, survived the disaster that befell your fair city.
Laura returns that bow just as deeply. She breathes in. Thank you. I survived completely by accident. I just happened to not be in the area at the time, and when I returned, to the surface, it was too late.
Robert Jackson, is Elora in a dress? No. no. Everyone has
traveling clothes.
just arrived from the forest. Yeah, adventuring gear full on. Aradel says, the fates move to keep those important to the future of our realms, our worlds, from the worst dangers. Although there are those we must face on our own. If you'll excuse me just a moment. Durandal, dear, what news? Oh, do not worry, Mother. The corrupted Myconids did sally forth from the caves, but were driven back. Let me present one of their spies. And he drops down what you recognize to be, what would be the equivalent of a decapitated Myconid, just the cap of these mushroom folk, which you recognize by shape and form from your time in Neverlight Grove in the Underdark, but this one is clearly corrupted, and you remember the ones that kind of burst up from the ground at Zugtamoy's willing to attack all of you as you fled that once peaceful Myconid settlement. And this one does have very similar markings and signs of corruption of the Demon Queen of Fungus.
I think Allura kind of has an eye-widening reaction, and I was in Neverlight Grove when this destruction came upon their city, and I had a life-threatening encounter there. Do you know what's happened? How it's progressed since then?
Let us ask more knowledgeable minds. And she turns... 2 seconds. And she calls off to a group of figures off the dais, off to the side of the council chamber, and says, Sereda, your counsel, if you would. And you see a wood elf, but in darker tones and more kind of organically styled clothing, with definite fungal motifs. And this appears to be a spore druid, much like Corbin is. As they come forward with a staff, and from the twisted wooden staff there are all sorts of smaller mushrooms and little colourful caps and things growing out of it, springing from the wood. And she comes over, fairly ancient even by elf standards. Yes, Head Chancellor? Have you heard of a place called Neverlight Grove? Indeed, Head Chancellor, it is a sizable Myconid colony. What of it? And the Chancellor kind of raises an eyebrow at you, Allura.
Well, I visited Neverlight Grove, expecting a much more pleasant experience, but it was infected with some sort of disease, and there was a demon who went by the name of Zerktumwai. She corrupted the entire area.
Sereda kind of balks at that, and she's like, foul news indeed. Another mighty settlement corrupted. It is the similar corruption that our forces are battling here in the woods. And she jabs her staff at the cap on the table. The natural way of things, these poor, majestic creatures, falling foul to their own connected ways, their own mingling of their spores, spreading the corruption faster than they can deal with. That foul queen, Zugtamoy, has a lot to answer for. And Arch-Chancellor Eredel looks to you, Allura. Your Highness, which way lies your path after this blessed meeting?
Well, currently, I'm committed to seeing this through with the party I've been traveling with. We know that there is a great evil, and we need to have some part in trying to stop it.
Oh, then you too are battling the forces that are encroaching from beneath.
Yes, we were in the Underdark and we witnessed it as well there, and we're surprised to see it's now coming up to the surface as well.
Darendil looks like super impressed. He's like, you ventured into the caverns beneath yourself?
We were kidnapped, so it wasn't by choice for most of us.
Then, blessed be to all of the high above that you escaped or were rescued.
Escaped, but only because we all worked together and not all of us made it out.
I'm sad to hear that. And the head counselor again goes to Elora. Your Highness, apologies. You say you are sworn to continue your way, your mission, but I ask again, where does it take you?
Well, currently we are traveling to the Dwarven City as one of our party members is hoping to receive aid from.
And Esmeralda and Eldith are there, off the edge of the dais, if you want to gesture towards them.
Yeah, I just trust them. Be like, this is Aldous, and a good friend of mine, Esmeralda.
And they both bow as best they can, unaccustomed to such things. Esmeralda's much more about stealing from people like this than bowing to them. But Eldith strides forward. High Chancellor, I extend to you the greetings and goodwill of Gontalgrim. And the Chancellor nods. It is as I hoped, then. King Bruno has asked for a gathering of all interested parties, as this corruption, this overspilling of evil from below, does not only afflict our region of the world. And Gontalgrim, with its tragic history of invasion from beneath. And Kalo, you still in the chamber?
I am.
Yes.
Yep.
And her eyes flick quite malevolently towards you. And you know your history from Menzo Baranzan and your schooling, such as it was. There was a massive orc incursion on the kingdoms of elves and dwarfs at a time when they had soured towards each other and were thus undefended and all alone against the attack. Gontalgrim fell and was overtaken by an orc horde, which was momentarily driven out by humans from what is now Luskan, but then was taken again from forces from the Underdark. And after a period of vying for control, one of the main Menzo Baranzan houses took control of the citadel. So it was under drow control for quite some time. Until the king she just mentioned, a rather famous dwarf, some of you may know the name, Bruenor, and his friends, Katibri, and one Dritzdurden, took it back, and it is now back in dwarven control. And Bruenor stayed there, and is in control.
Yes.
Yes, right.
What I have at this point kind of entered into the room and sort of joined the conversation, or
You are there. You can hear all of this happening.
yeah. I think for now we'll keep this information pertinent. Just hang back by one of the pillars and watch everyone speak. But I will have that information in mind.
Okay. And Chancellor Aradel turns to you, Alora. If you would agree, our delegation is traveling to Gauntlgrim very soon. If you would accompany them, you can return your friends to their home and perhaps represent mental balance. No, mental, sorry, mental dearth. No, mental, not even mental dearth. God, what's it called?
What?
Your home as well. Sorry.
Oh, my one, Mithrana.
Mithrana, thank you. All the names.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And perhaps represent Mithrana. The Chancellor does not mess it up. She knows what it is. And be part of this meeting. It seems you are uniquely and well informed to talk on the current situation, more so than any of the other delegates, I would presume.
Yes, I would love that opportunity, and I would hope that all of my party members could join, as they all have very keen insights into.
Of course.
To what's
Of course. The our grove wardens, Sereda and the others, will be using their magics to travel there almost instantaneously.
That would certainly save us some time, and then be greatly appreciated.
And you know, Elora, that druids have this thing called tree stride, where basically they just open a portal in the side of a tree and then emerge from another tree they're familiar with, wherever they like, basically. And can just and people can travel through with them if they're fast enough. So it'll be a quick dash through. Callbacks to Critical Role Campaign 1. Used to do that all the time. And you, yes, and you're left kind of talking about the logistics of that. As Corbin, you kind of emerge from the gloom of the council chamber, lit though it is, you know, I suppose it wouldn't be too marked a difference underneath the canopy of the trees. Excuse me. You enter out, and again you can hear the rushing water of the river and the waterfall in front of the palace buildings, and the council chamber itself is like, you know, the massive tree that's on the right there, and in the picture. That comes down. It has kind of like mangrove-esque roots, you know, that are up and out of the soil, and those roots form the pillars of the council chamber. And then the buildings that we can see there are constructed on the front of the tree. And no effect has been made to the tree itself, as the wood elves just working in harmony with the forest here. Okay. And you emerge onto that balcony, and standing at the rail overlooking the river is Zakan.
Is the figure on the bench, the figure on the bridge.
I mean, yeah, similar to that, yes. I think he's more like down in that balcony on the right side, in the exterior of the palace. But yes, basically.
Me. You said that's where Zakan is?
Mm-hmm. And so you emerge from the palace and see Zakan by himself. He had followed Darendil out, but...
So yeah, so they kind of come jogging up next to you. Where is he?
I think they have their eyes closed, and like even with the mask, I imagine by now like Corbin and the party are able to tell, you know, when they're not paying attention. But after just a moment, they look over and they say, Darendil is fine. He's obviously shaken by what has happened. I assume that you noticed the man in there claiming to be Darendil.
Yes, we have a bit of a situation happening right now, and I'm not entirely sure what to believe. I'd never heard of him before any of this. He keeps saying I should have, but I haven't. Oh.
Well, he is the real one.
He is the real one. Okay,
can say
good.
that much.
Awesome. Oh, yeah, we can just nip this in the bud. They like go to turn around. So if you,
They put like a hand on their shoulder.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, oh, let's go. Like, oh, wait, no.
Zakan, when you said he is the real one, what were you gesturing towards?
Towards
Don't ask that much.
the inside. It's towards where the court, the council is assembled at the moment.
Wait, that makes him stop. So the one that's in there that's not all fuzzy, that's...
The one that is all fuzzy, our Darendil, is someone else. But you can imagine that this is delicate news.
Yeah. Then what happened?
I would very much like to get answers for that. But for now, I think it is best if we don't mention this in front of the rest.
Okay, so then how is this going to go? Because they're going to think that there's some type of plan to reveal that the other one's in there isn't really the... So what do we tell them? The most important thing at this point is still trying to get help from Prince Dunkin' Donuts.
Exactly, and if we have someone among us who is claiming to be who they are not, it would be very difficult to gather their help. We can tell, of course, Allura and Kalo. I don't intend to keep them in the dark, but our Darendil, for now, is safe and is taking some time.
So we're back to scratch on the whole, hey guys, by the way, there is an unspeakable evil coming up to the surface, and it'd be really cool if you helped out with that.
That is our mission in so many words, yes. And it'd be very good if we could acquire their help. They, before I left, had mentioned something about corrupted myconids.
Yeah.
Did you hear anything more about that?
I honestly only have my experience, and that led to this. And they're gesturing to the halo that's always there, the little spores that just always are kind of around them. And that just sort of led to this. So, I mean, tell you the truth, I've never tried to tap back into that, but then again, I don't necessarily want to.
Don't want to?
Yeah, I mean the singing with the ooh and the corrupted machinids with the blah, and then disappeared friends. I'd like to never witness that again.
They nod and they say, give me a moment, if you will. And they're going to use their primeval awareness to try and sense the presence of any aberrations, elementals, fey fiends, or undead present within 1 mile, because we're out of the Underdark. DM?
I'm thinking.
Okay.
There is a certain fey presence in the court.
Mm.
But none of the others.
Okay. Because I think aberrations is abyssal stuff, right?
No, it's more like far realm.
Oh, more far realm. Okay.
Yeah, weird. So I think the illithid.
Oh, fiends is abyssal stuff. That's right.
Yeah, they would be fiends. Yeah.
Yeah. So do they sense no fiends within 1 mile? Okay. Yeah. So there's like a quick glow, and then they nod and go, well, I think we still have time to do something about this, but you, Corbin, are the one who is connected to the Grove, to the Myconids. I think it'll be you who is most important in saving them.
Okay, hear me out. But what if that's not what happens? What if I'm like a weird beacon thing and they just find us through me?
And you become corrupted as well?
I seem to be very, not adaptable. What is it? No, yeah, it might be adaptable. I vibe really well with this stuff. I didn't even know that there would be somebody else who would be like me. And they're talking about the other spore druid that they saw. Because until this moment, they thought that was just some weird thing that happened with their monkey. That's really been what they thought this whole time. So seeing somebody else kind of have the same things is like, this is apparently something that happens to people.
What does your intuition tell you to do?
About what specifically? I got a lot of ideas right now.
The Myconids.
I would like to do, in a weird way, kind of an arcana check or maybe a survival check to kind of reach out to feel if there's any hope left for the Neverlight Grove.
I was also curious if you had any like mechanical connection or anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to see.
Let's go.
Maybe if I did it in a weird thing where I like grow parts of me, like earth over me. What is that called? It's the thing that gives me like 8 temporary hit points, but it like grows around me and makes armor. But that could be me like taking a second to try to connect with it.
Yeah. Okay. Roll me. I'm gonna go this the same way as like when clerics and things try to contact their god.
Yeah.
And they have to roll below their level on a D100.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. You have to roll below your wisdom. Equal or below your wisdom on a D100.
So if I roll below 13 on a D100.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Because you do remember, like in the Grove, there was this very strong focus on proximity when they were blending and sharing their spores. So being so far away and on the surface is a problem.
No, that's I completely get that. All right. I don't.
Can you do it? Do it in Twitch chat if you want.
No, I'm sitting here like digital dice or my physical dice.
It's over.
Yeah. I feel like I'll do digital. All right. Okay. No, it's already said it. It's like chess. Just hit the button.
Fingers crossed.
Nah, man. I rolled a 51.
Okay.
Did not roll 1-3. One in wrong direction.
Your spores seem well and uncorrupted. But yeah, the distance between you and the rock and everything between you and the Neverlight Grove is too far.
No, that means they really do have to follow their gut. That's the thing they're insecure about.
Yeah, I think Zakan picks up on like their frustration and can almost like sense they're trying to do something, and they say, "Corbin, sit with me." And they like sit cross-legged down on the balcony and like pat the space across from
They
them.
do groan. That groan was in character. Like as they go down.
Meanwhile, Kalo, Elora, you see one of the guards of the council chamber come up to Councillor Eridel and whisper something to her, and she looks confused and surprised. Yes, come in. Zakan.
What? Stop.
And they take a deep breath and kind of steady themselves, and they take off their mask, so it's just their kindly old face, and you can see there's a little bit of effort to like keep the sort of divine flame down, but they smile and they say, "You, Corbin, what does your intuition tell you? Not someone else's. No divine, no magic, nothing, just you."
I'm not entirely sure that the Grove isn't a lost cause, but part of me really wants to try, really wants to save them. And if that means that we have to convince the people, then it means we have to convince them. I just don't want anything simplistic to get in the way. But if I go too hard, I'm probably going to scare away my new friends.
What do you foresee getting in your way?
They like lean in. People who have been traveling with me who have lied to me. If you remember, that is their one rule. Don't lie to them. So there's just like
Who do you
zero.
perceive as having lied to you? Who do you perceive as having lied to you?
Darendal.
Now,
Until proven otherwise, they don't have like the headspace right now to even think that something memories something. That is blank right now for them. They're like, he lied to me, and I've dealt with him this entire time. It's like every annoying thing he's ever done is like Rolodexing in their mind now.
I mean, Zakan, you have a perspective on that. Lying might be a strong term.
Yeah, I'm just rolling a quick insight to see if they sort of picked up on that. But
yeah.
I think that they do, and so they kind of nod. They say, Darendel was lied to. Does that make sense?
Do we know by who?
They nod, and their expression, which was like very soft, is very, very grim. They say, "My power is far greater than any of us, but what he's dealing with is a very familiar struggle. Someone tried to tell him who he is, but now he has to decide who he wants to be. Do you understand?"
Oh man, don't make me relate to him.
They smile.
Okay, so we keep this. Just us two. What do you want me to do?
I want you to follow that instinct of yours. Let's help the Grove if we can.
All right, but if I go to swing, you can't stop me. I'm just gonna yell instincts, and they start to get up, kind of turning away so that you have a moment to like breathe before you have to put the mask back on, and then they like help you up.
And the elves patiently waiting on either end of the bridge to cross over, like, oh, thank goodness.
But sorry, we were having an entire moment. That was so rude of us. Excuse us.
It was like an intense aura keeping everyone out.
Do we wait? Should we keep going?
Okay, so sounds like we have a wedding to crash.
No.
Did Zakan say what he saw in the tower? that Zugtamoy being prepared for a wedding.
Gosh, I don't think we played it out, but
no, because you were running out of there so fast, and then everything was happening.
Yeah, I am. So I'm not sure if they ever did. But
you want to whisper some things to him while you get it back? You can do that, friend.
But we're striding back into court, right?
You're going back towards the council chamber, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Councillor Eredil turns to you, Elora. Your Highness, one of my guards has brought confusing news. The Quaggoth you were traveling with, that your party vouched for, was ranting something about my son? Now, how does Elora and Kalo react to this? Because you haven't heard from Zakan about the Demon Lord stuff yet.
Well, you see, we have been through so much on this journey from the Underdark to here. I mean, horrors that you cannot imagine. He's a little sensitive right now. He seems a little off. He can't be blamed.
Does he need care? Aid? He believes himself to be an elf.
From what he's told us, yes. And I think Kayla will then kind of come towards Alara and the rest of the group. By powers beyond our understanding, dear, as you call him, Quaggoth friend, has undergone a curse unlike anything anyone has ever heard before, and intends to return to his noble place at your court.
Do you believe that, or is that a deception check?
He has no fucking clue, so I would call this persuasion.
Okay, so you think Darrendel's cursed?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, then please, persuasion.
Because Kalo has not been privy to any of these conversations. How does a 23 fare?
Her face softens somewhat. Well, I have been informed that he is not imprisoned, but in quarters and being observed.
It is a kindness we humbly ask of you for our time here, and we appreciate that. It seems that the powers that turned him into this creature may also be tied to the very things that you fear in those caverns. And I think our mutual partnership will allow us to rectify both issues.
Yes, I think Kayla would be aware of similar problems in a different area that has recently become Iwakiverse lore, and that is the kingdoms of Ghoul that lurk beneath the surface as well, the Darakul. And your closest adjacent kind of experience of what seems to be happening with this Quaggoth is Darakul fever, and the fever-bit drow that you have witnessed.
Of the many things that spurn my home in the Underdark, the one thing I know is that there are inconsistencies and dangers in every corner. I do not know the severity of your situation. I do not know what these Myconids have done. They may be a symptom of a larger problem. I've recently encountered what they call Darakul.
Alora, you momentarily lose sight of Kalo as he mentions the Underdark being home and not being a drow from elsewhere. The guards form up in front of the table. We had hoped you were from elsewhere.
Where were you hoping I was from?
Our cousins, in the forests to the south. Are you not Loendrau?
I apologize. I've been trapped down in the Underdark for so long that I'd forgotten what home was like. I was taken as a child. I've heard that name before. Perhaps maybe you can clarify that for me. That is a deception check.
Yes, it is.
And that's going to be...
Lies everywhere.
I'm glad you spoke first, because I was going to say something else.
Crystal
Liar
time.
cat are losing her shit
have a
over
crystal.
here.
Crystal time.
Everyone has a crystal.
Crystal of lying.
Crystal of lying. 15.
Crystal of lying.
15?
Crystal of lying. Yeah.
Okay. I will give you... I will make this contested.
Okay.
Here, Rachels. 40. Close. Okay. She looks stern again. There is a vast peninsula to the south, known as Chult. And in the forests there and beyond, there are vast drow kingdoms much like our own here, amidst the trees and the jungles of the south, the Loendrau. If, as you claim, you are not of the Uda Drow, you are free to walk these halls. But please, step carefully. I would not wish the assumptions of my court to cause any confusion.
Your warning has been heeded, my lady. I'm with Her Majesty as a bodyguard, simply and only.
Yes, I can attest that Kalo is of the utmost integrity and is one of the reasons that I am alive today.
You speak kindly of me, Your Majesty. And just a quick bow.
And as your face is hidden, you kind of smile, smirk to yourself.
Just a shit-eating grin. Just a shit-eating grin.
Darendil kind of scoffs. An odd choice, Your Highness. Might I offer my sword instead?
Very kind of you, but I'm sure you have many, many noble duties to attend to here.
I was hoping to get out of them. Okay. Fine. Chancellor Darendil skulks off. And you are rejoined by Corbin and Zakan.
Ah, my liege, the rest of our party has returned. Shall I greet them for you?
You said that
Yes.
to Laura. You got slapped.
Yes, please, Caleb. Bring them forth.
Corbin, Zakan, roll me an easy insight check to make sure you catch on to this play. It's like DC 7. Yeah, so Laura's hamming it up and being very strange.
It's
There's a
17.
little inside check between friends.
Yeah.
Let's make that a t-shirt.
It's more of a catch-on check.
You said what?
It's a catch-on check, not an insight. So,
Rolled 14.
hey, okay, you both see what's happening.
But that just tells us where Kalo is. It doesn't tell us what we are.
The Chancellor
Caleb.
says to you, Alora, Your Highness, how is it that you have come by such a mixed group of fellows?
You know, we all brought together against our own will, but made the best of it.
Oh, the capture that you spoke of?
Yes, correct. And I believe this information would be of great interest to other members of my party.
Hello, mate. Shadov is also tricked into believing Kalo is kidnapped brethren and bestows inspiration. How you doing, Chase?
Hey, Chase.
Good to see you, man. Okay. So.
I think as the conversation's happening, just walking over to Corbin and Zakan, just sort of like this very coy smile, trying to hide it, but walks over to the two of them. Alora's trying to get information. Let's give them the information they need. Pretend she is everything Darendale claims her to be. Just in like a hushed tone, outside the earshot of everyone else.
They nod, and Zakan says, speaking of, have they mentioned our Darendale?
Yes. They're keeping a close eye on quarters, and apparently not a prison. Our dear friend may be changed back after all.
Zakan nods, and he says, would be good to find a resolution to all of that.
That is the hope anyways. For now, let's help Elora before she kills the other Darendelle and just turns back around and faces the court.
Zakan strides up close to Elora and gives a little bow and says, Your Highness, are we to move on the Myconids?
Yes, I think that would be our best move. It seems as though it's become more urgent, no?
And the Chancellor says, Oh, you will not accompany us to Bottom Grim?
Oh, we will. We will. Is that happening currently?
On the morrow, as planned.
Oh, I see.
On the morrow?
Yes.
Chancellor, if I could ask, within your kingdom here, is there a settlement on the edges of a river near a hillside?
Where is it that you seek?
Can they like sort of describe the place they saw in their dream in a bit more detail?
Remind me, which one is this?
So they had a prophetic dream of a settlement near a river, and tentacles burst out of a hillside, and a swarm of corrupted myconids overthrew the land, the countryside.
Yes. You would think that was a vision of just the threats of Zugtamoy in a more general sense, as opposed to one specific location.
So they describe it, and then the counselor's like, no, I don't think so.
It is, sounds similar to the situation that we and many others throughout these northern reaches and towards Her Highness's previous home, wrecked though it may be, are suffering from.
How far to where these myconids were last spotted? This cave that they were coming out of?
It is to the north, towards the mountains, where the land becomes more prone to such features.
Turning again to Allura, Your Highness, had you informed the counselors here about our past experiences with the myconids?
Yes, very briefly about Neverlight Grove and Zugtamoy, as they were called.
Corbin, there is a slight sense of other spores entering your spore cloud. And Sarita steps to your side.
I have to stop. It's everything in Corbin, and I go just like being in their bubble, because they're supposed to be part of them. Nope. Okay, they'd gone into job mode, so they're treating this like a job. So they're very silent. Their head kind of came back up a little bit, and then they're just next to them. They're like, "Can I help you?"
Might we meld that I can impart your information to the council?
I would be foolish if I didn't ask if that meld went both ways, sir.
I have a certain control over my inner thoughts, as should you.
Like, as they like, we said it at the same time. It was like Ashley, like, as do I. But that information that you seek from me can just as easily be given by oral tradition.
Certainly. Troublesome, time-consuming ways of meat puppets. You should learn to embrace your gifts.
If only to be more connected as you are.
She could smile smugly. Thank you.
Turns and rolls eyes so deep they see their soul. But as far as my experience with the myconids, which is funny because most of their experiences they got knocked out a lot. but when they were
ones I was conscious for.
For what I was conscious for, I do want to tell them about the attack and us being able to get people. We got a lot of people out on the evacuation for most of the myconids, but the grove had to be not broken, but had to be cut off by the cave-in that we made happen so that it could be closed out. But I was and I do want to point, I guess, Mr. Smug over there. I do want to point out that I'm the last connection that they made with the outside world before they left, so I'm about as close as you can get to it right now, homie. Don't try any funny business. I am the Grove.
She is happy to hear that there is a connection there. She has the Myconid colony's best interests at heart.
Okay. As long as they feel that, then it's like, okay, I can chill out now.
And the Councillor Aradel says, "Please, you are all welcome to stay. Please, partake of our hospitality and rest and eat and wash yourselves. And we can continue your journey as it coincides with ours in the morning."
Will this journey be taking us past the caves that you spoke of?
Oh, no. Yes, of course you weren't here. No. The grove of trees that we use for such things is within our city here. We shall pass through the trees and to the forests on the outskirts of Gontalgrim.
I see. Would we be able to reach the cave and return in time for your departure? Were we to leave now?
If you insist.
I'm afraid that...
Why do you need such a journey? You have witnessed these things already for yourselves.
Unfortunately, I must insist, if the corrupted Myconids have found their way to the surface, then I feel that what we saw in Neverlight Grove is continuing. And then they kind of address the rest of their party and they say, when the grove was being destroyed, when I stayed behind with Ignatius, there was something else. There was talk of a wedding that Zerk Demoy was seeking to consolidate their power, overrun the surface. And if those corrupted Myconids are making their way here, then we may be very, very short of time.
At your vizier's request, my lady, I would like to second this motion.
I fear that we have not much power more now than we did then. So how are we to face this alone and fix it this time?
That I do not know.
So we just want a confirmation of what's happening with them, and then come back and so that we can leave and go down the Gruntsville, right?
Could just be some stragglers. My fears could be entirely unfounded. Perhaps what these warriors here put down was the last of them. But if we are wrong, then it could be disaster.
Then what am I looking for? Let's face it, I'm the fastest, and I am going to have a better connection with anything out there. And not to mention, I could maybe ask a bush or two if they've seen anything weird. But
you
just
probably do know that corruption best of all.
Yeah, I wanted to sidestep that part, but I think I could do this. And you told me to follow my gut.
Around the table.
They're like, they haven't heard me speak until now. I'm like, except I'm trying to not mush face the lady on my face. And you did tell me to follow my instinct?
They nod.
Zakan, you fool.
Okay, so I'm just looking for signs of corruption, right?
And signs of rituals, ceremonies, but I don't think that. And they kind of take a moment and they say, "We left you behind once before. And that was a risk that I do not think we should take again."
I mean, technically, everything worked out fine the last time. I made it to the surface. I got to punch somebody. There were a couple stabs. I inevitably got knocked off my horse and passed out for a little bit, but...
They look non-subtly over at Eldith.
I'm trying to like, please stop pointing out the really bad things in the room.
Yeah, Allura kind of breaks character a little bit from being poisoned. You're not going alone.
Perhaps the counselors could lend us some transportation if you have a couple of mounts that we could borrow.
The river will take you close.
And who was it that led this party against the Myconids?
It was I, Prince Derendil, at your service.
Perhaps you could accompany us, show us the way, tell us what you saw.
His eyes flit to Aurora. With pleasure.
You did offer you the sword. Point.
With a 17 in passive perception, they feel Alora's eyes digging into the back of their head.
I think as this conversation's happening, Kayla's going to lean into Corbin. She is going to kill him.
Keep this act up the whole time.
One track mind.
One track mind.
Okay. So, you take a moment to gather yourselves, and a party is formed. And you are led from the council chambers and down the beautiful winding staircases that go down. Actually, no, that would lead up above the waterfall that you can see in the background there. And as you broach the little kind of rise above and go through a kind of natural tunnel formed by the roots of the massive trees in the back there, you see a small dock with several, probably 3-person boats, carved in various organic patterns. And you can't help but think that they said the caves were towards the mountains, and the boats will take you in that direction, and you see the frosty-looking snow-melt river dashing away from the mountains through the forest here, of course. But Derendil and the others gesture for you to join them in the boats, and there's like two wood elves and one of you to each boat. And Eldith and Esmeralda say, "We shall check in on our friend."
Yes, please.
And as you say goodbye to them, the wood elf at the prow of each of your ships places a palm on the raised timbers at the front, and a golden light runs like sap through the wood, and the ships, without any use of oar or sail, gracefully glide upriver against the current. And you get to enjoy a rather nice little cruise as you go through the towering, beautiful trees of this court and its surrounds. But they start to get smaller before too long, and it is clear that you are approaching the mountains as the terrain starts to rise and the river cuts into a gully, the rock rising on either side. After a while, you find another carved landing this time, and the boats are tied up, and the wood elves escort you up a stone stair that winds up from the gully into the thinner woods above, and you can start to see glimpses beyond and realize that you are quite far north in the Lurkwood here, and you start to see in the fading light of the day the outer reaches, the lower trailings of the spine of the world mountains. Corbin, you in particular, are well aware of the majestic peaks that are out of sight, but marching towards the north, the natural barrier between here and Icewind Dale, where that friend of Bruinor's is. And you start to see rocky outcroppings and small cliffs in the forest, and Prince Darendil lets out a low whistle, which is answered invisibly, but then more of the scouts of the Wood Elves appear. Any activity? And they're like, "My prince, back so soon?" It's like, "We have some visitors." And gestures to you all, and the scouts kind of nod. Nothing to report, Your Highness, no. Darendil turns, spreads his hands. So, what would you like to do? I'm sorry, I confess I'm not entirely certain what it is you're seeking to find.
Do you know where it was that they were coming out of, where they were emerging from the Underdark?
There are several entrances and cave mouths. Today's little bout of excitement was from nearby. He gestures up the slope.
Could you show us there?
Certainly. And the scout goes to follow. He's like, "No need." And there's the 8 of them with you already. And you start to make your way up. And the rise of the ground with the bracken clustered in around the trees here, where there's more sunlight reaching the forest floor. The large kind of green fronds kind of brushing against you as you rise up and over a lip. And there's like a little bowl in the hillside. And on the far end of that is a rocky, craggy wall of stone and moss and vines hanging down, and some roots exposed as a tree quests for nutrients and the like down below, but has instead burst from the rock face here, and you can see at the base of that a dark, jagged opening that is clearly a cave. And Darendil points with his sword. That's the one. Our scouts spotted their scouts, thankfully, so we were not surprised and were ready when they sallied forth, and did not need to try our luck in their realm.
You said today's outing. How often has this been happening?
It's sporadic, no pattern to it. The poor things...
Sporadic.
The poor things seem completely driven to madness. We had dealings with them. You met Sereda. We had dealings with them before whatever's afflicting them took its rotten hold.
Has it been growing more frequent?
I would say so, yes, but it's just not so frequent as to be a problem yet.
Are they heading towards something, or do they appear to be looking for something?
I wouldn't say so specifically. No, it's more of a random attacks, raids. If you'll excuse me, good Sir Knight, he says mistakenly to Kayla. Much like the rare drow raiding parties. Uda drow.
Of course, it's easy to get mixed up when you don't have the familiarity with them. No offense taken.
Are myconids prone to raiding, or is this like very strange behavior?
Yeah, and he said they had dealings with them, before this.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is clearly
Like even
Xantamoy's
non-corrupted
madness.
ones,
This,
not doing. Yeah.
The non-corrupted ones never raided them.
Yeah.
So just these ones, and before them, these the drow would have raiding parties, especially against the elves.
Mm-hmm. Then to Elora, Your Highness, by your leave, Corbin and I would very much like to look into this to make sure if it is truly random or not.
Of course, I know from our experience it rarely is random.
Would be nice if it was this time, though, wouldn't it?
Yes, I'd love to say this is a one-off encounter, but as we know, it's not how these things go. Maybe Corbin can sense something here that we can't.
Corbin, are you ready?
As I'll ever be.
All right, well, let's see what we can find.
Okay, when we get kind of, I guess, like tell everybody bye, like wave. When we get a little bit further into the forest, that's when I'll whistle for Webster. I'm choosing my Pokemon. I'm going with Webster this time around. But I whistle for him to kind of like come down from one of the trees so that I can mount up on him. Because we did ask for mounts, but I requested that we only do one because the con would know that Webster was waiting in the trees.
We took the boats instead, so yeah.
We got this down. So.
Yeah, we a flashback to Webster's view as they were springing through the trees, branch to branch, with the boats kind of going below.
were they like Spider-Manning their way through?
Yes.
Just really living it up.
But is there actually something you would like me to roll specifically to try and sense things, or are we going to wait till we get to the cave to do that type of stuff?
How are you intending to do this?
Yeah, I was wondering, can we do like some kind of combined or advantage giving
like
roll where
I
it's
have
like,
ritual spells. Give me a second.
I will say that when we approach the mouth of the cave, can I pop off another one of those primeval awarenesses to try and sense fiends and all that jazz?
Sure.
Within 1 mile.
Okay, go on.
All right, so when we I want to make sure you got what you wanted to do done, Zakan, before I just come out in here ranting.
Oh yeah, so does the primeval awareness kick off on any fiends within 1 mile?
You do sense a fiend, yes.
Okay. Yeah, because it doesn't reveal numbers or specific location. It's just within that sphere of.
There is a fiendish ping.
Yeah, that was not there, back before. So.
Indeed, and you have traveled more than a mile, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they do that kind of, their eyes glow and they focus, but then they turn to Corbin and they give this like very serious nod, which hopefully Corbin can understand. They're not going to.
Yeah.
But it's like a go ahead nod.
Like, okay, let's go. Let's do this. I have 2 ideas right now. One is to do a very deep speak with plants, and it is almost like trying to reach down, especially around a cave system where there are roots. That's what I want. I want to like touch roots and sit next to them and do like a very deep speak with plants, and I think have that be a flavored way for me to kind of go through the roots and see if I can connect back to the grove, because there were roots that were still protruding through that rock slide.
Sure.
The other thing I have is I have locate object, and I could locate one of the darts that has been missing because I lost it down there. That would give me a connection of mine to that area. So it could be either one of those, but those are my ideas.
There's a range on locate objects, right?
You said a range on what?
Locate objects.
1 second. Let me click it and all right, locate object says concentration up to 10 minutes, 1,000 feet of you.
Okay.
If the object is in motion, you know the direction of its movement.
Okay.
The spell can locate a specific object known to you as long as you have seen it up close within, and then it says seen it up close within 30 feet at least. Alternatively, the spell can locate the nearest object of a particular kind, such as a certain kind of apparel, jewelry, furniture, tool, or weapon.
Okay.
This
So
spell.
you're gonna try and find those darts of yours.
Yeah. That would work better than the speak with plants thing.
It's up to you.
Aw.
Well, I do like the roots thing. I think the roots thing is very cool.
You said what?
I like the roots thing. I think it's very cool.
I feel like that would work better. Not to mention speak with plants.
If you're speaking to the roots, does that mean I have to try and do an impression of Questlove? Because that's gonna be
the roots.
That'd be very hard.
So Gryffindor, that was so good.
I want you to be proud of that.
I don't have the afro for it. Sorry.
I would like to cast it at 3rd level if that would help.
Absolutely.
I got 2 whole 3rd level slots. I'd like to use one of them.
Please.
Trying to talk to the whole root system.
You are potentially very close to a long rest.
Okay. All right, here we go. It just says charges. This isn't even. Yeah, because I have that crystal that we got from down there.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
No, yes, I'm just using the charge for that.
Okay.
And then like boosting it. So, do you what would you like me to roll, if anything?
Yes. I mean, it happens. So there's no need. I mean, so you this is the speak with plants, yes?
Yes, this is speak with plants.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you kind of nestle yourself in the roots next to the cave mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you
In
feel
case it is needed, I will cast guidance on Corbin.
okay.
Right.
And you reach out and you feel your awareness going into the roots and into the plant.
Okay. So it gets like the ending things of like the pep talk that they always give themselves when they're doing this type of things. It's like, all right, cool. Hello, testing. I am not trying to be intrusive. I interrupt your photosynthesis to bring you this coded message. Help.
Good day, little sapling.
Sweet. I love that this is always the one-sided conversation. So they just see like the mask, that's the butterfly mask that always appears when they're doing deep magic. And their eyes are kind of glowing. And they're just like, ah, sweet.
And then the tree senses the spores. I am not rotting yet. Save your additions.
Oh, no, sorry.
A later season.
No intrusion. These guys, they are aesthetic at most. I mean, sometimes when I'm scared, I kind of go, pfft, but it's fungi thing.
I do have some very attractive bracket fungus on my sunward side.
I'll tell them hi. Thank you for thinking of me. But wanted to know if you have noticed any other types of corruption, maybe something a little darker than a few spores. If you've heard of what happened in the Grove, the Neverlight Grove.
That is not a name with which I am familiar.
What about what was the Monday? Trying to think of how to mess up saying their name like I've been messing up everyone else's names.
What is it you seek?
I seek to stop a infernal wedding.
What is this wedding?
Oh no, I gotta go that deep with you. That's cool. All right, my spores. Have you felt anything similar to my spores from deep down in the Underdark?
Yes. There are creatures. Diseased, rotting before their time, passing by. We are thankful.
Okay. Do you know where they're headed?
They pass beyond, towards the waters.
Towards waters.
You think the tree's probably referring to the way the water table's flowing? Because, they are tapped into the water table.
Mm-hmm.
So they know the direction that the watershed is flowing in any particular location. So it sounds like they are suggesting that these creatures are moving towards the river, along with the underground water.
Okay, following river flow. And I am, for everything in me, I'm trying to remember the name of the queen that they were saying that everybody was that the corruption was connected to when we were down there.
Zergdamoy.
Yeah, Zergdamoy. I called it. I made up a name and I confused myself on who it really was.
Like, wait, I can't remember the real one now.
I can't remember the real one now. But that's the name that they say to them after like messing up a few times. Zergdamoy. Yeah.
It is a strange word.
You said a strange wood?
Word.
Word. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. I must say wood. Okay, we're getting somewhere.
They don't seem to recognize that.
Oh, okay. This is starting to feel like I need to go deeper than where I am.
But I mean, on the flip side, that does give you an insight that there are no colonies, there are no myconid colonies stretching up here, which would suggest that the raiding parties have been just corrupted myconids driven by madness, and no concentrated effort.
Yeah, just a concentrated effort that I wanted to clarify. So, I'm gonna say thank you for the information and let him know I'm gonna say hi to that Sunside fun guy and to go back, kind of blink back up.
You're welcome. Blessed be. And Corbin, as you come back to your senses, feel that a rain has started to fall.
Oh. I am both annoyed and very happy about this, and I know it's for different reasons. But they look up at Zakan and kind of tell them about their very confusing but useful conversation.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to also try your other options, or is that enough information for you?
No, but I don't have to be in a trance to do the other one. This is locate objects. So now let's go see what's going on down there. And that one is a spell slot. Locate object. Cast. It just says 2 spell slots. Why don't you let me cast my spell? Describe the name of the object that is familiar to you. My dart. You sense the direction of the location as long as that object is within 1,000 feet of you. If the object is in motion, you will know. Yeah, I read that part. It's just a casting thing. I don't have to roll anything.
Are you describing a specific dart or the type of objects as the darts?
Well, the darts that I have are handmade darts. I can describe these darts. I know these darts inside and out.
Mm-hmm. So you're describing that style of object as opposed to a particular dart.
I like the claw ones, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. And that's within 1,000 feet, right?
My dart?
Yeah. No, the range of the spell is 1,000 feet.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. You cast the magic, and Elora, Kalo, and Zakan, you see Corbin kind of jolts a little and start. Corbin, you sense 10 of them 100 feet above you.
They're not gonna look up. They're just gonna do this and throw one up there.
What's the range?
The range on my dart is 1 second. Range. It says 20/60 feet.
Okay, so yeah, you cannot throw it further than 60 feet. Sorry. Are you just going to just instantly throw it anyway?
You said because you said it. I felt it 100 feet above me.
Mm-hmm. Which is about the height of the cliff, by the way.
You said it's about the height of the what?
The cliff that you're at the roots of.
If they do throw it, then we're all looking in that direction.
Yeah, no, I'm still gonna throw it because then if they start moving, then I know where they're going because I can tell when that stuff's in motion. So so just one of these just to kind of just have it be. They'll sense it coming, and if they'll either move or they'll stay there.
Okay.
I either get 10 more darts or I get to chase something. I'm good either way.
Okay. 2 seconds, please.
Okay.
Oh, we hit the jackpot. Watching the dart go up.
Okay. Come on, there you go. Characters. Handouts.
So like from our perspective, it was just like, touching the root and like glowy eyes, communing, and then kind of like stop touching the root, thinking magic, and then dart.
Yeah. So you guys just walking out. It's like a little bit ethereal. The butterfly wings are starting to fade away. And then you just see me go, not even looking. I just stop. And it's just arm just up. And one of my darts goes flying up.
Okay.
Does locate object
Oh,
stay
I got
up
it
for like
first
10
shot.
minutes or something?
Mhm.
Yes.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah. So like that's why I'm like, I can either chase up and then we can.
Yeah.
Okay. All of you hear a bark of laughter. Ha! You never were a good shot, but did you really think that was going to get anywhere close?
Like whipping in that direction.
And all of you see a shadow almost detach itself from the trees lining along the top of the rocky crag that's above you. And you see this person.
Oh.
And Corbin, you recognize... what was the name I wanted to use? Dionysia, who went through all of their training at the monastery at the same time as you did, and excelled at every stage.
It's not that I thought it would reach you, is that most people wouldn't give themselves away after one attack.
And you see all of the wood elves have drawn their bows, these elegant fluted bows.
And Zakan's, hand on the glaive, and it's like, is this a friend, Corbin, or?
I mean, I don't want to kill her right now, so cool. Yeah, sure.
There's the creak of untensed bowstrings. But they're still being held notched down at their hips. And
So you want to tell me why that was either a good idea or a bad idea, or do you want to continue to talk in the bushes like a weirdo?
oh, I'll be right down. And
Yeah, sure you will.
she
They move like over a second because they know where they're gonna try to land. Just like
she leaps off the cliff and does one tuck and roll and is hurtling towards the forest floor and the various boulders and rocks strewn about the cave entrance here, and then at the last minute casts Featherfall on herself and gracefully touches down.
I was like, I could do that too.
And sorry, excuse the name. It is a different person in a different world. I'm just using the art because I like it a lot.
okay.
And she says, Corbin, so it's true. You have resurfaced. Out from whatever rock it was you skulked off to.
I didn't skulk.
No, you stole and
I didn't
trespassed
steal either.
and then eloped.
Okay, seriously, what are people saying about me, and why is it different than walked into a tomb and didn't come back out?
That you stole one of the awoken books from the grimoires of the library?
I didn't steal a book. I borrowed a field guide. I was coming back.
Your mother doesn't see it in the same light.
My mom hasn't seen anything in the same light since that time you accidentally tripped and whacked her on the head with your bow staff. So I don't really trust what you say.
Corbin, who is this? And the prince kind of steps forward. And she stops, just like a raised eyebrow, looks at the side eyes him. Oh, don't fuss yourself, Prince Darendel. And Corbin will let you know I am not here alone. And you do not want to meet the others.
They are of the same monastery, and like they'll recognize the switch being like almost immediate. They're of the same monastery as me, and when it comes to seeing a dear sister, I haven't in such a long time. We tend to forget ourselves.
You, perhaps.
But I assure you, if they are going to stop how they would have worded that, I assure you that they have no ill will towards you.
Let us hope the same for a mother and their wayward child.
I assume that means we're going on a walk.
Home time, Corbin.
They turn to the others, and it's not an explanation. It is an expectation of the rest of you. Like their hand goes behind their back, and they're like, I assume you will be fine without me, and I wish you the greatest of luck. I need to go. Webster,
Alone?
stay with them. I know, but we both know they cannot handle themselves without at least one of us there. The other option, dearest child, and it's weird because they're definitely having a moment with the spider. My dear sweet child, is that you become somebody else's friend, and I will never let that happen. So you need to take care of your brother, and I will return soon.
Dionysius just kind of smirking bemusedly. If you're done with your pets,
if you can call off yours, I'll happily follow you.
they have a purpose. Hopefully unnecessary.
Just keep up, and they are going to like dash off.
Pets, and she dashes after. And that was at you, Elora, Kilo, and Zakan, not Webster.
They love you guys so much. They're so sorry.
What the hell's just happened? Are we going to follow Corbin? Turning to
Corbin,
to Zakan and Elora.
before you dash off, you may want to say, "I'll see you in Goldgrim." You muted.
I mean, it's like, no, but I want to see this, but I gotta go. But I want to see this.
And yes,
Right.
Corbin will be taking a slight side trip to Raven Rock, but
I
a brief.
you because I have to get on a plane soon.
Yes, just a couple of sessions away, but we'll be back with us soon. Okay, and we'll have their means to catch up with you in Goldgrim, do not worry.
I can't wait to see the out of context for the rest of this.
Indeed.
Now I'm just gonna turn my video off.
Norris, gone. Boop. Oh yeah, she literally has a plane to catch. That's right. Forgot that one. Okay, so you three are left with Webster. Webster kind of raises up two legs. Yeah.
Also, did Corbin tell us anything that they learned from the roots?
I don't think so.
Let's say yes. Let's say yes.
I think that before I walk out the door, yes, I told them. I told them everything.
Yeah, there was a gap between the commune with plants and the living objects.
Thanks for that disembodied Corbin.
Actually,
thanks, disembodied Corbin.
Actually, I'm gonna notch, remove the Dionysia part. Actually, I'm gonna leave it as Amara, and I'm gonna keep it as the same Amara that is the one that she was originally. Because we do like our crossovers here. And you don't seem to have any say in this. Corbin has dashed off with this Amara person, and they have vanished up into the forest and towards the mountains to the northwest. Prince Darendil says, "So they will not be joining us on our journey to Golden
Seems that they are following their intuition."
Oh, what fool suggested that? No. It's like, do you have everything you're looking for? Anything else? We should not expect another raid for some time.
That talk of them going down further away from the mountains. And I can still sense something.
It is a problem that many peoples, I feel, will be subjected to.
We could perhaps look into the cave a bit, see if we can find any evidence, anything of what they might be doing. I find it hard to believe that there's not some connection here.
Certainly. But we should not stay out past dark long. As long as we get back to the boats, they can navigate the river in any light conditions, but it is not safe. Oh, sorry, just a moment. And he turns back towards the east. I guess it would be the southeast, towards where the court is. And as in the picture of the court, Mike, if you could shift to your left.
Go this way.
Oh, sorry, other way. There is a spectral deer, much like that one, nestled in Mike's palm, and on the screen there for everyone at home. There is a spectral deer of a kind of bluish glow to it, kind of ethereal glow to it, trotting out of the trees down from the direction of the court. And Darendil says, "Do not worry. It is a messenger spell from my mother, I presume." And he steps forward and kind of raises a palm and places it on the brow of the deer and closes his eyes, communing with it clearly. And then it dissipates and the glow fades and disappears. And he turns. "We are leaving now."
What has happened?
Your experiment in making friends in the Underdark seems to have gone awry. Everyone, back to the boats, immediately. The Quaggoth has incapacitated his guards, and apologies, Your Highness. It seems your friend Esmeralda has been taken.
What do you mean? Why?
and we shall stop there.
Curses.
Okay. Thank you, my friends. Mike's just left. He's like, nope, no.
Right there.
Screw you.
Bad touch. Bad touch.
Always has to be a cliffhanger.
Okay, so a massive thank you to these lovely players of mine and to all of you joining us in chat and those who came through. Thank you so much. As we wrap things up here, it's your final chance to jump in and have the chance to win the awesome Halloween bundle from CZRPG. 10 best-selling titles from those fabulous folks. ! Enter in the chat there. Thank you, Grim. And hopefully you will be able to win this fabulous bundle. We should draw the winner in just a moment. Okay, so as we wrap things up here in Zumhana and head towards Gauntlgrim, the pivotal point here before you return to the Underdark, if all goes according to plan, according to module. Anyway, we shall see. Now, we will return next week and see what has happened to Esmeralda and try and figure out what is going on here. But until that time, do join us again if you have the chance. First and foremost, you can find these lovely people at various places. Elora, where can people find you in the material plane?
Hi, you can find me on Sumasuda's channel once a month. We are moving our days to Sundays, Sunday morning.
Cool.
This time it looks like. And you can also see me playing with some of these lovely people.
Yay! November 5th! That's when it all kicks off. Indeed, the Demethrin 5, a dark Rodania campaign over on QuestJunkiesUK. Let me drop Patch's stuff here so you can check that out. Yes, Sam, Mike, and myself will all be players and joined by the fabulous Aelin from our Jacinta's Tyranny game and our new friend Alexi as well. So this is going to be a very interesting campaign. I'm looking forward to it and looking forward to finding out what everyone else's extra 7 levels were. Shall see where they go. I'm torn now. Should I have done it multi-class?
I mean,
should I have done it multi-class?
That's what I thought you were gonna do.
Yeah,
7 different classes.
I think I should. And you know what?
do it.
I should do it.
Do it.
Right here, right now.
Yes.
On
Yes.
stream.
Yeah.
No backing down. Okay, Here we are, folks. D&D Beyond. Tools. Character builder.
First. You guys are getting the exclusive right here. You can
Yeah.
see.
Not seen anywhere else. Okay. Randomize.
This one's for you.
Level 7. Allow multi-class. Okay, I'm just going to take the classes from this. I'm not taking anything else. I am playing as Gekato Robblejax. He is a level 5 ranger and... Rip. Hold that thought. A
Like
level
the Hogwarts
5
sorting hat. Come
level
on,
5
join
ranger
the paladins.
and where would it be? I'll go wait. Class. Here we go.
Join the paladins.
Oh
Join the
no!
paladins.
I'm a level 5 ranger and a level 6 ranger. That's not gonna work. No, it has to be other. It has to be other. Except it can't be ranger. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. Reroll. Kayla, where can people find you in the material plane whilst I'm resetting this?
Yes, well, John is resetting that. Hi, friends. I'm Mike. You can find me here. You'll see me in Demethrin 5. Join us Monday morning, Sunday for Hunger of Ithrin. We will be joining our undead friends on our continue evil campaign.
Indeed. Good stuff. And you can find Corbin in their IRL persona as Buns, playing games and hanging out over on their Twitch here. Check that out there. And Stephen, you good stuff?
Yeah, when I'm not on this stream, I don't do any other streams, but you can find me on Twitter at Distant Shores, and if I ever do anything, I'll rant about it there.
Thank you. And I've rerolled this. Let's see if we get something a bit better this time.
Come on.
Oh, yes! Oh, yes! Oh, yes! 4 more
What is
classes.
Oh.
Okay, Gakato is a level 5 ranger, a level 3 echo knight,
Oh,
a level
Interesting.
1 blood hunter,
Oh,
a
gosh.
level 1 druid, and
Oh.
a level 2 draconic bloodline sorcerer.
yo,
Yes.
yo. I love it
Gosh.
already. I love Gakato.
Level
We
12.
stand
level
Gakato
12.
here.
This should be interesting. So yes, come and see Gekato on his travels as he continues. He has been peeked at in other campaigns. He appeared in Wild Beyond the Witchlight and over in the Radiant Citadel at the end of the High Seas, which was his journey to Rodania. So he's not a local boy. The ranger subclass is the haunted ranger, the haunted one. The haunted ranger.
Haunted Ward, right?
Warden? That's right, yes, the Haunted Warden, thank you. From the recent Cobalt Press book, The Tome of Heroes. So I have the spirit of the player in the High Seas that died. His spirit belongs to a crystal, which is accompanying me on my journey. So yes, that's going to be fun. We shall see how this goes. Druid, Ranger, Blood Hunter, Sorcerer, Fighter. Just rolls off the 10. I hope Patch isn't putting the classes across the bottom like I do in the other games I've started doing recently. So,
Absolute chaos.
not Jebediah, no. Jebediah is Kraken food. Done and done. But thank you. I'm killing off all these old classics. Arafor Tan has mysteriously vanished from the histories. All these things going on. Anyway, thank you all so much, everybody, for joining us. ! Enter in chat as the last chance goes by here. We will be back later with the fabulous folks in Barovia for Barovia and beyond as they start to make their way towards the next domain of dread as they are aiming towards the Carnival, the Dread Carnival, that is the sister of the Witchlight Carnival. The flip side of the Witchlight Carnival. So we're going to be delving into that soon. At the moment, they have arrived at Castle Ravenloft, within which they seek to find the hag Babalai Saga and cut out her heart, that they can reconsecrate the stone circle to the Lady of the Swamp Thane, as it was the hearts of poor little Mapaks that were used to desecrate it in the first place. So some vengeance happening there for our Mapak druid, another spore druid, a little friend Edgar there. And then tomorrow, or Thursday evening, if you're in that part of the world, we will be back in the Feywild with Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Looking forward to that and continuing their journey through Yon, the mountains racked by storms and intrigue, as they continue to try and get the various Korred clans on their side. More fabulous things from Dan Khan there. Let me quickly shout out Dan in chat over here. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. And that'll bring us round. Nothing on Friday. Yeah, nothing on Friday at all. Wow, that's rare.
Oh.
And then on Saturday, at the various parts of the day, you can join us for our next Candlekeep Mysteries campaign session as they continue into their new mystery, helping out the frog folk. And we may have a special guest playing a frog folk. A familiar face from the channel, who you can see before that day as well, so popping up in one of these other campaigns at the end of the week here. And yes, hopefully they will be able to discover just what is happening in this swampy village and the evil Yuan-Ti that have invaded. Dan Khan is not the guest, no. one of our regular players, Robert Jacks. Or if you're saying Dan Khan is the author of the Witchlight stuff that we're playing, yes. Okay, so, and that, as I said, as Kalo mentioned, that'll bring us into the Hunger of Ithrin at the end of the weekend there. Right, my friends, thank you so much. We have a lucky winner to choose. I'm closing up the giveaway now. The Halloween bundle from CZRPG, 10 best-selling pieces of beautiful campaign design and one-shot work, is going to Chav Hunter 86. Congrats indeed. Just double check they're still in the chat. Yes, they are. Congratulations, Jeff. Nice, indeed. I shall get your email address and have that sent to you towards the end of the week. It is a big bundle, so it's not the usual link that we give out. I'll send that soon. You forgot to enter Phantom. Bad luck. I think. Yes, you did. Next time. We've still got a few chances to win. That's going to be our giveaway all this week, so if you missed out today, do join us in our other sessions for another chance to win. Right, my friends, thank you so much. Absolute pleasure as always. Let's see who's on that we can raid into. Let's have a look here. Our buddies over at Inkenlayer. I like those lovely folks over there. They're playing a Spelljammer game. Let's go and take to the stars and see what's going on with our Spelljammer crew over at Inkenlayer. Thank you all for joining us, folks. You know what to do. Stick around for that raid if you've got to let those phoenixes fly. But till next time, as we say around these parts, oyasumi nasai. Oyasumi.
Oyasumi.
Oyasumi.